Hello family and friends, Patrice here in Patrice's front yard garden representing Patrice's projects, joined by Nagy, the project pig. Get out of that garden bed, Nagy. Hard to train a pig to stay out of a garden. So today I am going to be joining a collaboration started by Linda over at the New Orleans Gardener. K-Tog is how she writes it. And if anyone can guess who I was imitating just now, let me know in the comments down below. Actually, his link is going to be there too, so we can lose the hat now. What the challenge is it's hashtag grow with me. And it started by Linda, the New Orleans gardener. And what it is she went around her garden and showed the different types of things that you can grow from things that you buy in the grocery store. Some of mine are from the grocery store, some of mine are from gifts that people have given me, tomatoes and peppers and things like that. So let's look around my garden and see what I have growing from items that you can get in the grocery store. I'll even point out a few that aren't from the grocery store, that are from seed packets, but you can buy in the grocery store as well. We'll start here with something that looks very unimpressive right now, and in fact needs to be thinned down to one. This is delicata squash, and it is a type of squash that I wasn't aware of until I found it in the grocery store. So it's a hard squash, it's a winter squash, and it's on the smaller side, at least the one I bought was, and I'll show you a picture right now. So that's what the squash will look like, and that is from something I bought at the grocery store. And as long as the squash is fully ripened, you can grow any type of squash. Like if I grew my zucchini out to where it's not a soft summer zucchini anymore, where you let it grow out, it will harden up, and then you can save the seeds from that as well. So this is a zucchini plant right there. Peppers. This dying little thing, I've had problems with peppers this year, is from seed that I got from someone that saved the seed from a pepper that she had grown called the Yellow Monster. Let's see what else I have. Oh, right here. Okay, we have something finally that's pretty. Let me put the camera down. I apologize for any wind noise you get. It suddenly got windy out here as soon as I decided to do a video. Anyway, this are cherry tomato plants, and this one is a black cherry tomato. I think that one's the black cherry, yeah. And this one is a sun gold. And I did not buy these at a store, nor did I buy the seed from a store. This tomato plant, I had shared some plants with someone that rides by on his bike in my neighborhood, he and his family, and I had shared some tomato plants with him, so he shared some tomatoes with me from some tomatoes that he had purchased at the store, the plants. And the black cherry tomato I really enjoyed. It's very sweet. So I saved the seed from that, and that was 3 years ago, and I've grown it ever since, and I've shared some plants with people that are in the neighborhood and with my sister. I've also shared black cherry tomato seeds in a seed swap that Ray over at the Praxis 55712 channel he does a seed swap on his Facebook page, and Ray is right here's a link to his channel right up here. And this sun gold over here, I have a friend right around the corner there, and I had helped him get restarted in gardening. I even went over and put plants in his garden that I grew for him. And the one plant that he bought at the store was a sun gold cherry tomato. And that's also a very good, sweet tomato, nice thin skin. Both of them have a nice thin skin, which I like. And he had given me a handful of the cherry tomatoes, and I kept the seed, and I've grown it. This is the first year growing this one, and it's very promising. The plants are rather small to be flowering, and you're probably just hearing wind right now, but I'm going to keep talking anyway. It's a little bit young to be flowering, but I'm looking forward to tomatoes. I haven't had any for a few months, so I'm going to let them go ahead and start setting fruit. Anyway, let's go on to the next item on the list. There was one thing I wanted to mention about tomatoes. I have a video that shows how you can save seeds. It's very easy. I believe I mentioned 2 methods in my video, so go ahead and check that out right up here if you're interested in saving seeds to grow next year. Over here I have a couple more things that I have grown from, well, I grew out the seed from something that I bought over at the hardware store, a little 6-pack of plants, but it's a type of lettuce that I was interested in trying, but I didn't want to pay for the seeds and the shipping. It was actually cheaper to buy a little 6-pack of the plants, and that is Salanova. And it's a nice lettuce. This one I am leaving for it to go to seed again because I want to share some of the seed with you. It's a nice frilly leaf. There's several different types of Salanova. There's a smooth leaf one, it's called a butter lettuce. There's also this one called a tender green, I believe. Yeah, tender green sweet Salanova. And it's a nice firm lettuce. This one is a little bit hard because it's so old, but you can cut it, and it's the cut and come again. You can do it like 3 or 4 times in a season. It takes time for it to go to seed, so it's something that even people in warmer climates like myself can grow successfully. So I'm going to be sharing seeds from this. In the fall I usually do a seed giveaway, so look forward to that. Here's another lettuce that I'm letting go to seed. I bought the seed from the store. It's got a French name and I can't remember. My pig is still in the garden. That Project Pig, I tell you. Can you see her over there? Luckily she's not eating anything. Anyway, this here, yeah, you can see this. Here's another one. Those are sweet potatoes. They have a different leaf than the sweet potatoes other people grow. And I don't know what variety it is because I bought the sweet potato at the supermarket. It was not organic. I just put it, I have a video. I'll link it right up there. So that's how I grew the slips. It's actually 2 different videos on from putting the sweet potato in water all the way to putting the sweet potatoes in the ground. And it was some of my first videos, so I apologize. Anyway, those are 2 more things that you can grow from, well, you can't grow, if there are some lettuces, like butter lettuce, sometimes it'll have the roots on it, and I'll bet you could plant that into soil and grow it up and get the seed. So it is something you could do, but if you have a plant that you like, that you want seeds for, go ahead and let it go to seed or in the lettuce, and I'll do a video this year on seed saving for lettuce. Right behind that lettuce that I was just showing you is some beautiful garlic that I had gotten from my friend. But let's look at some garlic. It's not doing well this year because it's at a bad place, but I'm going to show you anyway. I don't always have beautiful big garlic like this. Let's go look at it. Here's the other garlic on the other side of the trellis. I hope you can see that, how tiny these are compared to the others. This is the 4th year that I'm growing this particular garlic, at least the ones in the front row right here closest to me. I had gotten some 3 or 4 pack of garlic at a fruit stand, and it was really good garlic, and it's a hard neck variety, and normally in California and other warmer climates we grow soft neck. It does better for us, but this one did exceptionally well, and I'll put in a picture right here of the garlic harvest I did the first year. I think there were only 14 garlic, and I had saved 1 or 2, maybe 1.5, to be able to plant the next year. And again, I had a nice harvest, and I shared with my friend Nancy. She is a subscriber, and she shared the other garlic that I showed you over there. That's from Nancy. So thank you, Nancy, because this year, this bed gets shade for most of the morning and then it'll get blasted with heat. So I think it's struggling a little. Anyway, the first ones here are from the farmer's market, garlic, and I had big beautiful bulbs before. This year I'm probably looking at quarter size. The garlic behind it, right here, and there's a larger one over that way, I don't think you can see it. They're doing a little bit better than my garlic overall. I bought that at Baker Creek and I expected a much better looking plant, and the ones on the end over here actually get quite a bit of sun. That's a good spot. So I'm pretty disappointed, and I paid a lot for that. I did better with the farmer's market garlic. So there you go. With the garlic, like I said, I do have a video, I believe, and if I do, it's going to be linked right up there if I have enough links left. So let's look at something else. This persimmon tree that's in a pot, it's in a 2-gallon pot, I think. I started from seed, as well as this lemon tree on my garden room porch. This really needs to get planted. It's up against the wall to stop it from being blown over all the time. That pot is only a 10-inch pot, and it's doing very well in that little amount of soil. I guess citrus can do very well in stressed conditions. Hopefully it gets planted either this evening or tomorrow. That's my request of the guys anyway. So yeah, just seed right out of the fruit for this and the persimmon. I almost forgot. This is a fig, and as well as that, I need to cut them. I grew these from some cuttings that were, a friend of mine lives next door to someone with a fig tree right up near the fence, and regularly it will send out shoots on his side of the property, and he cuts them down. He asked if I wanted to try growing them. I have 3 of them actually, 1, 2, and another in a pot over there. And this is a mango. I grew that from seed as well. This little pot of green onions that is going to seed, it has been growing in this pot for 1.5 years. Ever since I purchased, there's a bee right in my face. Ever since I purchased a bunch of green onions in the store, I saved the bottom 1/2 inch or so with the roots attached, and I put them into some fine soil so that they could take root. And they grew green onions. I've been harvesting off these for, it's probably closer to 2 years. The pot is so old it's falling apart. So I think after this harvest, there's a little bit of green onions that's still good on here. I'm gonna go ahead and let these go and just continue with some I have in a fabric pot out in the garden. Anyway, green onions, you can grow them very easy from green onions you purchase in the store. This little salad container, I painted the sides of it to keep the sun off of it some. But this is where I grew my sweet potato slips this year. Instead of doing it in water like I did on that video that I had linked, I found that if you save the tiny little sweet potatoes that you'll harvest when you're harvesting your bigger sweet potatoes, you'll end up with some small ones. I put those in here in just, 2 inches of soil, just enough to cover the top or almost cover the top. It doesn't even have to be completely covered. And doing it this way, instead of taking the sweet potato slip off of the sweet potato without roots on it, but in my video actually mine did have roots mostly because they were growing in the water. But oftentimes the plants will be growing from the top of the sweet potato without roots on it, and then you put it in water and root it. These already have roots, so these can go straight from here to the garden I'm growing them outside so that they're hardened off already. I had actually started them indoors and then did the regular hardening off process. Now this just sits outside and it's ready to go. Oh, look at this. Another way of getting produce for your garden. This is called a Magic Mountain Purple Basil, and by being kind to others, I have no idea who gave this to me. I found it in my garden, and as people walk by, I will talk to them all the time. They'll ask me questions about gardening, and I answer them. I've given away upwards of 30 plants in the last couple years to people. Some I don't even know their name. They'll be asking me questions and talking about me inspiring them, and I'll offer them some tomato plants or whatever I have on hand, some peppers, and even some flowers last year I gave away. I guess that act of kindness is contagious, because I have been given this year 3 really nice strawberry plants. Mine are doing very poorly. I had issues, and I'll talk about it in a future video. This is a totally unexpected gift that was given to me by kindness. So by me giving away plants and information and being friendly, that's another way you can get produce for your garden. Thanks for watching and joining me in this garden tour. Whoa, 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 whoa. You forgot something. The challenge, how it works. Anyone can join the challenge. Is this okay with you, Patrice? You're right, I did forget all about that, but you could have at least taken this manure bag out of the shop before you started. But go ahead. So the way this works is anyone can join the challenge. Just do a video in your garden or on your patio, wherever you're growing things, or even use pictures of things that you've grown before, where you've taken produce from the store and grown it in your garden. It can be a repeat of things that I've done, that Rob's done, that Linda's done, that anyone's done, using the hashtag #GrowWithMe. So that's all you have to do. Go ahead and go to Linda's channel, let her know that you've joined the challenge, and I'm sure she'd really appreciate that. I think I'm done here. Are you sure you're done? Oh, there is one more thing. It'll just take a minute. Those plants that were in the garden, the squash and the pumpkins and such that I had too many of, and I said I needed to separate, I did. So I've got some cabochas, a pumpkin or two. I've got a yellow crookneck squash. I'm keeping one of them. That's about it. So if you're local, go ahead and come by and get one of these, no charge. Okay, now I'm done. That's a good idea. Please, if you're local, do come by and grab you a plant. I would appreciate that. I've got way too many right now, so... You sure you're done now? Yeah, I'm positive this time. Here, I'll let you have the camera back. Thank you, Linda, for starting this collaboration. I really do appreciate it. If I have enough cards left, I'll link you right up over here. And who I actually heard it from was Rob the Sapper gardener over at Essayons Family Garden, and he, if I have enough cards, is linked over here. They'll both be in the description down below as well. Again, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you in a future video. Bye. I have no idea where I'm going to plant this. I think this needs to go in a pot. I filled up every little space, so it'll be interesting. Naggy, get out of that garden. Quit eating the Swiss chard.